Just okay. You hear me? Perfect. Yeah. My name is Günther Fellinger-Jahn, and I'm absolutely in favor of freedom for Biafra. And I made this campaign now for ex-Nigeria. Not sure you're in favor of ex-Nigeria. Maybe you can give me thumbs up. Very good. Perfect. Yeah. And we will tonight how we can achieve it, what we have to do, and how we can work together. And I present, first of all, my name is Günther Fellinger-Jahn. I'm an Austrian economist. I'm supporting freedom in the world. I'm against tyranny, and I'm against the prosecution of Christians, and no matter of religious or ethnicity, I'm against the suppression. We all should live in freedom. We should live in a free world, and there should be decency in countries. Just, you know, we in Europe, we have this big problem with the war against Ukraine, and this is, of course, the most. And then I have already proposed, some of you might have seen the ex-Russia. That means basically the victory of Ukraine and driving the Russians out of Ukraine, because they have nothing to do there. Ukraine is an independent country, and they have nothing to do there. They have to leave, but they are, of course, there with 1 million of army, and we have to drive them out. And then, of course, we understand that Russia is supported by certain countries, like, for example, India, China, but as well Nigeria and others in the world. And so I looked closer what is exactly the situation in BRICS and in the Shanghai Cooperation. And so I found the situation of Nigeria very disturbing. And the more I discussed this, I found out evidence of this genocide against Christians and in Nigeria. And obviously learned also the history of Biafra. And so the logic came to for Biafra independence and also Nigeria. This will happen after the fall of Russia because they're all in one entity. That's the plan, and that's what we're for, that the situation will be that Biafra will receive a lot of international attention also from my effort now. And of course, President last week was, of course, this, and in America you have a lot of support, but what I'm is obviously trying to mobilize also European support for Biafra. As I said already in my tweet, I apologize for our neglect 50 years ago, and also in the French and the British, there was complicitly genocide on behalf of the Europe that we must apologize for. Active remedy is also less, and that can only be now in the situation where 50 years later, the Nigerian Christians, they became the victim of atrocities, and we must stand with you. We must be at your side. We must support you, and we must also take it very seriously that you want to have an independent state, because the experience in Europe has shown that independent states work so much better for religious minorities, because it's an illusion to think that suddenly area there will be harmony, everybody will live together and peacefully, and there will be a great federal state where everything will be fine. I don't think it will be possible. I think it is much more realistic scenario of ex-Yugoslavia, and I always say, please, Nigeria is the ex-Yugoslavia of West Africa. It's both nations, and much better situation is when there is a breakup of that state and the independence of the entities. So it's not only a Biafra independence, but also about the independence of several other countries emerging out of Nigeria. I still, and I recommend that to of the various regions and ethnicities and to agree assisted breakup of Nigeria, because I'm sure north, south, west, the divisions, and it's much better to see them break away together, because otherwise Biafra is only breaking away alone. There will be the might of the state then against Biafra as it was 50 years ago, and we have to avoid such a situation. It's much better like we had it in Yugoslavia, where Slovenia broke away, Bosnia, Croatia broke away, Macedonia, and ultimately as well Montenegro and Kosovo, and these are the role models. Additionally, I have an economic plan to offer, how to rebuild and to realize the Biafran economy independence and what to do, how to be successful, how to be part of the free world, because many countries break away in Eastern Europe in the last emerged in Eastern Europe in the last 30 years. And I had the honor and pleasure and also responsibility to assist Montenegro in Albania, and this is all now much better than they ever were, as long as they were in this prison of NATO that was ex-Yugoslavia. So it will be the same for Nigeria, I'm confident. And that is what we can discuss in the coming hour. I'm happy to take questions and answer the requests. And my co-host Nicole, who maybe would like to read the discussion tonight, and we can then also go into all the details, economics, geopolitics, Russia, Ukraine, Nigeria, the prosecution of Christians, and also, because we have also European guests and from other parts of the world, and also I would like to learn about the situation in Nigeria, in Biafra, the concrete disaster and the atrocities you are suffering. And I'm very much looking forward for all your questions and answers. And we have already a lot of people watching, and we have some requests for speaking. And maybe Nicole, you want to introduce yourself and start the moderation.
Yeah, good evening. My name is Nicole, and I will moderate it today. The first one who asked to talk is Olu T. Olu, you can ask a question.
Yeah, hello. Good evening. Hello. Can you hear me?
Yes, yes.
Good evening. Yeah. It's my pleasure to be on this show. It's something I've always looked forward to. I'm not I'm not Igbo. I'm not from the Igbo side. I'm Yoruba, and I've always wanted Nigeria to be to break up, because it was not supposed to be a country in the first place. You know, Britain forced us together, purpose. You know, and it's not the togetherness, they live it, yeah, than joy. There's so much bloodshed. We don't understand each other. There's too much. The ethnicity is too much. It's causing chaos. So we should. I've been looking forward to the day Nigeria will break up into bits, and we will be able to leave. Everything came to force us together. So the thing is, how do we go about this now? I'm looking forward to Biafra breaking away. If Biafra breaks away, that will give us the way out as well as Yoruba. I want Yoruba land of Nigeria completely out of Nigeria. We're not supposed to be Nigeria in the first place. I'm not Nigerian, I'm Yoruba, and we were forced. I mean, our identity away. They call us Nigerian. I'm not Nigerian, I'm Yoruba. I was never Nigerian. They forced the name on us. We don't know anymore. So I'm looking forward to the day Nigeria will break up. So I'm really happy that this kind of show came on. I never thought in years that this will come up where we'll be able to discuss how we should break up Nigeria, because living together has caused us more pain than else.
I understand. You are also the victim of the British imperialism, because they forced all the tribes of Nigeria. They formed this country, Nigeria. And it is basically a legacy of the British imperialism, and we have to overcome that. And it's a very step of the new countries, similar like we have done it in Russia, ex-Russia, and then to agree on an assisted project and show everybody that you don't want to live together anymore, and that you have the right for self-determination. This is very clear, and to assist the breakup of your country.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. The next one.
Thank you. One is Information Media Communicat.
Good morning, Biafrans. Good afternoon.
Yeah, thanks a lot. This is from you, and I'm also there are a lot of political prisoners and released. This is very important. And I call for the release of Masi and all the freedom heroes of Biafra to be released from Nigeria. And I also strongly reject that the European Union can repatriate forcefully freedom fighters from Nigeria. They will face prosecution. So it's absolutely unacceptable to send them to Nigerian authorities. They must stay in, hopefully are safe and secure. And that's a very important aspect of this campaign. And we all have to work together to achieve that. Thanks a lot from your side. Is there other questions?
The next one is Moiten Okke.
You're welcome. New question?
Moitan.
Moitan is still silent, muted. If you want to say something, you're welcome. But you have to unmute yourself.
Okay, basically, I'm happy to be here. So,
you're welcome.
Yeah, I'll just go straight to the point. Now, after these Twitter space, what?
After the Twitter space, what next is your question? You know, there must be a global awareness campaign for the plight of the Christians in Nigeria. And there's a lot of activities in Europe now for what to do that. And we must translate this anger of and this for the Christians in Nigeria into concrete, actionable kind of proposal toward the freedom and independence of Biafra and ex-Nigeria. Because this is what most Europeans don't understand. For the Christians in Nigeria is the independence of Biafra, and this is basically what comes next. Thanks a lot. You can continue.
Okay, so how do we now translate this? Everything you just said, it's so how do you put this into perspective? It don't be as though after we keep talking about concrete actions. So what are the plans you should take, or how do you come to help us to actually achieve our goal?
Thanks for very concrete. You know, I'm an activist in Austria. I'm an Austrian economist, so I'm not responsible for the freedom of Biafra, and I can also not recommend to defeat the Nigerian central forces. Nor do I want to do it if I would have it. Yeah. So my task is the awareness raising. My task is, especially because I'm from Europe, I can of course explain to the Europeans what exactly the situation. I can listen to you from Nigeria, from Biafra, what really needs to be done. And that's what I'm doing also in this space. But the real actionable thing, which I normally advise to all the independence movements in ex-Russia or in other parts like ex-India, is to have a consultative process towards the establishment of government in exile. And we have already government exile in Chechnya, and we have now, for example, the Seek for Justice is doing a campaign to have a referendum in Ottawa on the 23rd of November. So that process is basically the institutions to prepare for independence, mostly the United States of America, like, for example, this exile government of East Turkestan and ex-China. And so we have these role models, or the Tibetan exile government, or many others. And this is basically what I recommend as well, the movement here for Biafra. And luckily you have already exiled, and I had the honor to have an interview with him, and I will also invite him to my podcast. And so I'm very happy for that. And you, legitimate institutions, is a big step. And you have already in America very good support, which is actually quite impressive. I saw senators like Senator Ted Cruz talking about the plight of Christians in Nigeria. The question is, can we really translate it into independence, a movement which is also supported by the United States and, of course, the European Union and the world and all others? And that's, of course, a complicated task, because we have a lot of resistance towards new states. Well, I'm explaining that in 1945, we created 50 nations, and then we gradually are now at close to 200. Yeah? And soon there will be a new state in Africa, Somaliland, will out of ex-Somalia, and that's very important presence. Maybe also closely, because I'm also supporting the people of Somaliland Republic. But now we can, of course, see how we can achieve it together. But the ultimate leadership must be with your prime minister in exile and with the government. And I can just amplify what, and also advise to a certain extent how this is happening in other parts of the world. Ethiopia is also a good candidate for being ex there, and there are others, and so we can work together. But that would be my advice for concrete action. Look what worked in ex-Yugoslavia, look at what kind of dynamic they had, and the most thing is to drive forward, to believe in it, to build the institutions and the international consensus for acceptance and recognition, and then to really convince your people that this is the right way. It must be also some form of taxation, some form of legitimacy, and to achieve this is not easy thing. We are talking about a very complicated, often very difficult process, but it's entirely possible, as many of the new states which have emerged in the last 30 years have. It's absolutely possible to be of West Africa for Biafra. Why not? It's absolutely beautiful and great, very well, and you need to look for a role model to achieve it. And that would be actually my recommendation, to use Croatia as a role model, and to maybe to exchange experience, and then to build a similar successful Croatia. Thanks a lot. Next one.
Thank you, Martin. The next one is success.
Thank you. Good evening, Mr. Gunther, and good evening,
Welcome,
Nico. Pleasure to speak with you tonight. I have a few questions, and I think I have to make it very, very brief. Number one is, what is the importance of an exile government to the pursuit of freedom, to the pursuit of an economic emancipation of an indigenous people? See, if Nigeria is a multi-dangerous, diverse, Nigeria is a multi-dangerous, diverse country where different backgrounds, ethnic, religions, and tribe were lumped together by force, not by agreement. The Yorubas and the Oduduwas, there's the Yorubas predominantly, and the Biafrans, we are lumped together, and they were called a Southern Protectorate, which existed for a while before they lumped the North together. The Northern State Nigeria in 1914, exactly January 1st, 1914. Now, it seems it is difficult to break when the citizens are agitating. And I found out that what is making it difficult is maybe the mineral resources within that very enclave. I want to ask, with these mineral resources, can humanity live? Or without these minerals, can humanity still exist? Thank you very much.
Thanks a lot. You know, Excel government is very important, and I'm very happy that you have already declared independence, that you have an Excel government, and that you have the institution in place. This is absolutely critical in order to achieve legitimacy and also recognition, because you need partners on the global world for the free world to address. You need to organize resources and also to make awareness. And this can be legitimate only by Excel government. And I'm happy that you have it. So I agree, it's very, very important. When it comes to resources, that's of course a very big problem in most of the states, because the central state always has to get control of the resources with an exchange, and then being able to buy the military and to have some security apparatus in order to suppress everybody else. That's the whole history of Russia. That's the whole history of other countries which we have a degree of dictatorships. And that's exactly what Nigeria is doing, controlling oil wealth and exploiting this money in order to buy off one ethnic group, rest the others. This is exactly, and it works actually doesn't work very well, because Nigeria, in many aspects of economic criteria like inflation, growth, is an absolute disaster, failed state. Yeah? And they have never managed to have really decent development, which is really outrageous. And their economic management is, despite all these massive resources of this oil wealth, is still absolutely a disaster. And that's why that is, because of corruption and mismanagement, buying off one elite by the other, and then you end up into kind of oligarchic, kind of corrupt mess, which Nigeria unfortunately is. So not really very friendly to their neighbors. They are not really ready for economic integration, and they are protectionist and oligarchic, and this is a typical sign of a failed state. And the sooner it is Nigeria, the sooner these opportunities which Nigeria has gifted for in terms of resources and people be available for the people, and also for the whole world to really share in this, and then to lift the Nigerian people of ex-Nigeria into a normal level of prosperity, freedom, and security everybody in the world should have. And they are deprived today of that. And I'm very sorry. And that's why it's very good if we work together in order to address this injustice. Thanks a lot.
Good.
Next question.
The next one is corruption hater.
Hello, corruption hater. You already addressed me on Twitter. I know your tweet. You're very welcome. All the questions you asked me on Twitter, now here in this space. You have to unmute yourself. Well, maybe your braveness has you. Maybe somebody else, because we have a lot of requests, I see.
The next one will be Mr. Snow.
Mr. Snow, you're welcome. Okay, let's go to the next.
Okay, let's try it with Mr. Henry. Detecting. 1 second. Mr. Henry.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
You're welcome. Ask your question.
Okay. I really like what is being discussed today in this space, like days back we have for people to speak on behalf of some of the regions that have been marginalized and treated unfair. But all the effort that I've been pushing has been abortive because you know the kind of leaders we have in Nigeria, they can go any miles to block any plan that you have. So my question is that is there any measure on ground to actually, because affecting Nigeria now is deformation. So you hide for disinformation, the push agenda, whatever thing you plan to do, they can push agenda because they have control of the media, they have control of all the news, and they can buy BBC, all the news, and change the narrative to negative impact. So my question is that is there any plan that we can be able to at least get a first-hand information, at least to know this is what is really happening? Let the world know what is really happening. Let the world get to know what is really happening in Nigeria. This is the truth. Because imagine if you come to Nigeria, you notice that we have southern part of Nigeria, western part of Nigeria, and north part of Nigeria. But due to the agenda they have, for them to be able to have a dominance over some certain part of Nigeria, they are able to divide the region, the southern part of Nigeria, into having south, and southeast. And if you go to your geographical, you can notice that there is nothing like south. But due to their agenda, they've been able to divide that particular region, making them a minority in the country. So a measure that can be able to at least allow people, let the world know that this is what is really going on in Nigeria.
You're addressing a very important question. This is disinformation. We have massive disinformation, especially from Russia and China, also in Europe, and also the Nigerian government is very much active to control the information and to try to suppress information about the genocide against Christians everywhere in the Western world. And because they have huge commercial clout and interest, they find partners who are spreading their lies as well. And what is important, how to counter it? You must be active here on X. It's actually, I haven't said that X exists here, Twitter, because you can directly communicate with the world. You can directly inform them about the atrocities. You can be part of the world community. And this is what we need to do. We need to educate the world opinion much more about the crimes against the Christians, against the Biafra people, against many other national ethnicities in the failed state of soon ex-Nigeria. And this is basically the way to do it. And I applaud all the efforts of the community. Biafra is really very, very active here on Twitter. And this is exactly what we need to do, and then to reform, to do spaces, and to fight the Nigerian disinformation monopoly, which they have basically for decades now somehow portrayed themselves as a nice country, but they are not. And we must tell the world, and we must bypass these official communication channels like you have mentioned, BBC and CNN, and go directly right to the marketplace of ideas, which is here on X. And that's exactly why we are here together, to understand each other better and to build a global item, and we have to be part of it. Thanks a lot. Next question.
Good, thank you for your question, Mr. Henley. And the next one is Veteran Dragon 2.
Yeah, thank you so much, Mr. Gunther and Nicole, for the space. I am so glad that the Biafran issue and the Nigerian becoming an international news and is gathering momentum. I thank you for lending your voice to the problem of Biafra. And I'm also grateful to the clarification you made about the importance of government in exile in quest for independence. Thank you so much for that clarification. I want to say that the only solution to the Nigerian issue is disintegration peacefully. And we have tried, we've been calling for referendum, knowing that we had a self-referendum and the majority of Biafrans voted for yes, over 50 million. But I am suggesting now, if Nigerian state is not accepting that referendum, I will suggest that international community will compel Nigeria. Let's have a referendum so that we can separate peacefully. But if this is impossible, independence has become irrevocable and we will fight. But we don't want to fight. So my appeal to international community is to compel Nigeria to organize a peace referendum so that there can be a peaceful separation. But if they do not, we have made up our decision, our mind is made up, and it's irrevocable. So much. Thank you so much. You're doing a great job.
So you want freedom and independence for Biafra?
Oh yes, I want it now.
Absolutely. Let's work on that one for freedom of Biafra. Thanks a lot for your contribution. Next question, please.
Good, thank you. Veteran Dragon, the name is Liatitia. Sorry if I spell it wrong.
Hello, good evening, people.
Welcome.
Thank you very much, Mr. Nicole, and everybody online. Okay, right now I'm in Cameroon, and I have is from Nigeria, so dual citizenship, and the issues of Nigeria are currently at heart here. So it's true that Cameroon too has been going through a lot of crisis, but it's not compared to what is happening, because indeed in Nigeria there is a genocide of Christians, and actions to be taken, and those actions need to be taken now. So I am appealing actually is that should strive, we should the processes to make Biafra a republic, because knowing the government, the present government of Nigeria, I think by right now they should be hurrying up to issue. They should be gathering all their forces, their tactics, gathering a crazy team right now on this issue. But the thing is, if we have to act now, and it should be fast. So what are the steps that we are to take right now that can easy fast forward things to go? Because as time is I believe the wind blow and everything will pass. So what are the actions that we can take right now to, because it's good to talk about it, but I think actions, demonstrations, concrete things that we can do right now to make things, for them to hear us loud, for them to hear us now. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thanks a lot for the question. One thing is states need in resistance. It was resistance, but they were also institutions, and building a government which was then able in 97 and 98 to supply and equip also the resistance ultimately, and then they had also the lobby, the support in the United States to have enough support that when the Serbs then cracked down and started military Albanians, the Americans then helped and sent the tanks and the airplanes to help the freedom of Kosovo. And this is, I think, most relevant. You need to build simple, strong external institutions in order to be ready for the day when there is the necessity to really convince world opinion to intervene to help you. And so starting the role model of Kosovo is very useful. But I'm also interested to ask a question to you because you're from Cameroon. So, a movement of independence from Ambazonia, from in the north?
No, Ambazonia actually is from the northwest and the southwest of Cameroon. Cameroon is a country that has 10 regions. So we have the Anglophone region. They have 2 regions in Cameroon out of the 10. So we have the northwest and the southwest that have been in strike since 2016, and also a group that was marginalized. So they tried with the peaceful ways, but as usual with the authoritarian government and the dictatorial government we have in Cameroon, it was not possible for them to have a solution through peace. And as all, the government used force, they used repression, torture as they are used to, and then it resulted later to a crisis that today, up to today, it is not resolved. So, and then we've had elections recently also here again, and this time around it seemed as if the Paul Biya's regime was not law elected, because had a lot of elections fraud, a lot of irregularities, but he was sworn in the other day, and there are citizens that are still fighting for all the thing, and it's really something are fighting, and we are standing against today. So right now, as I'm speaking, the country is restless, people are divided, and a lot of people have been captured. So Cameroon is also going through something, but we pray that the international institutions and body involved of humanitarian crisis will finally step in and stop this killing, this kidnapping of people, of political opponents that is happening currently in Cameroon.
Yeah, that's a very tragic situation, and I'm actually very excited. I have called already for ex-Cameroon as well on Twitter last week, and maybe we can also work and we can share more information, because I want to learn more about how to mental Cameroon and how to liberate the people of Ambazonia and others in ex-Cameroon. And really very important, I think, it goes simultaneously, ex-Nigeria and ex-Cameroon, and it is much better if we work together. Thanks a lot for your question.
All right. But concerning Cameroon, is not Cameroonians are not much into division currently. What we are all striving for is to get rid of president, because we believe he was fraudulently sworn into the palace, which we believe was against the people's voices. What we want is for the president to peacefully step down due to his age. Cameroon's president is 92 years old. He has been in power for more than 43 years old. So it's a terrible thing that we are witnessing, and we pray, and then we are fighting. We are out rights, and we believe with the internationalization pressures and everything, he will step down. But Cameroon is not really that divided. We just have a minority of people generally from the president's original region in Cameroon, and they want him to stay in power because of the benefits that they have while he's there. Because obviously, 92 years old man can rule. A 92 years old man can really direct a country, can really rule matters in the country as it should. So our plight, our how do we say, our desire is for him to step down, for a different government to step in, because Cameroon is doing a lot of things right now. We want Paul Biya to step down, and we want that to be in a peaceful way if it's possible. Very much.
Thanks very much. I share your call, and I understand your pain and want that this dictator, this tyrant will step down and face justice. This is absolutely important. But I warn you as well. Thanks a lot. The situation is as well that, all right, thank you. But the situation is that we have seen in Syria, I was lobbying 10 years for the fall of Assad, terrible tyrant of Syria, and then he was falling. And then what we had a situation is that another terrible man has gained power, and he has been really a disaster for the minorities now in the year of his power, and he has suppressed Christians and he has suppressed a lot of people. So I have always called for the division of Syria into 5 new states, and I recommend the same for Cameroon. You know, you need really to look into the structural fragilities of your country, and it's not enough just to have one tyrant less, and then you continue. Next guy comes in and does exactly the same and kills the people and steals everything he can. He very much inherits the same tools of power which the present dictator has. And so I recommend you ex-Nigeria, ex-Cameroon, the ex-Syria. This is the better way. We need smaller, better working states which are carried and useful for the people, where there's freedom and security. So please look into ex-Cameroon and see my tweet. I have argued it, I think, very well, what kind of new states can develop out of Cameroon. And please share and please work in that direction.
All right. Thank you for your opinion and for your concern. We are really grateful for the work you are doing here, and we believe in due time everything will work out, especially with everybody's efforts and everybody's contribution. Thank you very much.
Thanks a lot. Now another question, please, Nicole.
Thank you. The next one is, we try again, Mr. Snow.
Yes,
hello.
Thank you so much.
Hello, Snow.
Yes, content. Greetings from here. And everyone on the space, Minister of Information of the Republic, greetings from here. Yes, real quick before I go into my question, and I'm only saying that Biafran relation and Amazonia is not just that of, it's not just because we're nations. We have a lot in common as a people. And I believe that the Amazonia people have declared their own independence and fighting for their freedom right now. As they're being killed, just the same way the Biafran people are being killed by Nigerian state, the Cameroon Defense Forces are also invading Amazonia. So a split in the Cameroon territory. You know, I understand what our sister is saying. Everybody has their opinion. But I believe that Amazonia is fighting for their freedom just like Biafra is. Now, to my question, Gunter, you have knowledge, vast knowledge on geopolitics. And so I want to ask you this. Is there any country in the world that in your knowledge, known terrorists with their defense architect?
Syria is a very bad example for that, because they have recruited even terrorists as a president. And so that's a really very bad example. But on our case, and it's actually dismantled, and we also need to dismantle Nigeria, because it's absolutely outrageous what the Nigerian government is doing with this terrorist. They have recruited for the securities, and then they're killing Christian people who are basically who are their citizens. And no state is allowed to kill their citizens in that situation. And so absolutely a state which does that, like Serbia was doing that to the Albanians, they were their citizens, they killed them, so the state does that, it's the legitimacy to govern the state and these people. So you are absolutely justified in going for independence when it's happening.
So if a country recruits their security architecture, that makes that country a terrorist nation, right?
I would get automatically, but it's also what these people do, their state function. If as part of their state duties they are committing a genocide, then it's going in the direction of a genocide state, and then the legitimacy is lost. Absolutely.
Okay. I asked this question because I want to point it out here, right on your face, that Nigeria has more terrorists in all their security architectures. And to me, that makes Nigeria a terrorist state. So when people hear us describing Nigeria as a terrorist country and a terrorist state, these are the factors that makes us describe Nigeria as the terrorist state. The question I wanted to ask you, you've already addressed it, the importance of people understanding the value and the need for anybody who is fighting for independence, especially from a terrorist country like Nigeria, to have a government in exile. I appreciate you for addressing that. And for those who listen, for those who keep asking questions for Republic government in exile, maybe now you can take a look from the conversations today and read on your own research and understand what the government is, why you must respect Biafra Republic government in exile. Thank you so much, Gunther. I'll give others the space to speak. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Mr. Snow. Next one is University. Yep, you are raising your hand. Okay, maybe also information media University. You can.
Hi, Nico.
You can ask.
Yeah, thank you so very much. Thank you very much, Mr. Gunther. Guten Abend from here, from Germany.
You're welcome. Hi.
Hi. Du sprichst Deutsch?
Yes, absolutely.
Guten Abend. Yeah.
You're welcome. What's your question?
Yeah. First of all, thank you. I like the topic here, Biafra freedom and the X area. Yeah. Before I ask my question, I'd like to make a few comments because this situation that is happening in Nigeria, of course, since you are supporting Biafra, there are a lot of opinions that come out, including attacks from Nigeria. Nigeria is so complex that a foreigner will not actually understand what's going on there. There are 3 countries that made up Nigeria, which is Biafra, the Hausa people, the Arewas, and the Yoruwas. So there have been a gang up against people in the south, that's the Biafra people, kind of education for a very long time. They have been training people how to be Nigeria, even if people do not accept the idea. And because of that, those who have research education are kind of fighting back, which has created a lot of divisions in Biafra. So a lot of people have asked you some certain question here. I want to ask you, how do you, because I've read some of your profile about something that has to do with North Atlantic treaties and that, and you have spoken about how you have, lobbied for some other people seeking for freedom and peace. How do you complex situation where there are people do not actually understand Nigeria? It's too deep. How do you deal with a complex situation like Nigeria?
You know, a lot of us was there are people who are killed, and there is a lot of atrocities against citizens of Nigeria. It's not complex. Somebody ordered them, somebody paid the militias, gave them the backing, somebody promised them not to be punished, and so that's basically a crime which the state of Nigeria is committing. And it doesn't matter the internal complaints similar in many countries of the world, like in Ethiopia, like in Russia. Dictatorship, you have enough resources to pay one part of the population to the other, and you basically live in the outing system. And that's something really bad. I don't need to know all the details of Nigerian history or the Nigerian ethnic demographic complexities. Yeah? You are a deep problematic system, and I'm sure that how I explain that you are so unique because only you can understand the situation. And Nigeria is a country like we have partly India, we have of course China, and then we have Ethiopia, we have South Africa, we have Congo, we have Sudan, we have Mali, and we have Nigeria. And then Nigeria has chosen the wrong side. It's very obviously aligned with Russia and China. And then we see that the way they treat young people is absolutely unacceptable. And then we have all the legitimacy to call for the dismantlement of such an unlawful and criminal state as Nigeria. And then it will be very simple. We will support Biafra. Biafra will be free. We will trade with Biafra. We will work together. We will exchange good governance proposals. And Biafra will be a very successful state like maybe Ghana, like Croatia, and like others also in Africa who have transformed themselves in the last years from a very good situation to a good one. And I'm pretty optimistic with the help of the international community, Biafra can be a very viable state in the future.
Thank you so very much for that wonderful detailed answer. Why I asked that question because we've seen foreign interventions in the past, and sometimes these foreign powers tend to align with the oppressor and they postpone the freedom that's supposed to have happened. That's why I asked that question, because from the tenants from the past, I get to understand that instead of reaching out to the people, going into the communities, acting the agitators, there are groups agitating, there are resistance groups who are resisting the oppressor. Instead of, having with the adults of the resistance to understand the criticality of their situation, as if those people are no longer family, then they align with the people in power who are oppressing them. They make things worse. At the end of the day, no result is achieved. So, and like the situation of Biafra, we saw Europe align with Nigeria. Of course, the fight was directly Britain against Biafra, but using Nigeria by proxy, after reaching understanding with the Fulani Islamic jihadists who was led by Usman Dan Fodio during the time they invaded the land, installing jihad and caliphate in the land that doesn't belong. And they never knew that what they were defending was jihad, and that this jihad is capable of growing up to Europe, and up to every part of the world. Biafra resisted all these foreign powers, Russia, Europe, America, all together, supporting, and they tend to create some narrative in Nigeria by Britain about the attack that this coup that led to the war. That was very wrong. There was genocide happening in Nigeria. Right from the day, all the states and the regions that was formed by Nigeria, it took the life of our people. Most times our people are, the people are against it, especially in the South. They are always against it, but at the end of the day, foreign power comes in, support the state they created, and put the people's life more in danger. The young people grow up and inherit this, sometimes don't know how to solve it, and then they fall inside the hands of the oppressor, and then worst. So that was why I asked that question, because killings has never stopped. Since the creation of Nigeria was through killings. The people who were forced to become Nigeria were done by force. People died for it. When the killings escalated, Ojukwu tried to protect the South, and the foreign powers never understood this, supported Nigeria, and slaughtered millions. In short, they weren't winning the war. After 2 years, Nigeria was losing. They had to create some kind of economic to scuttle and stop freedom. So
that's a terrible crime. That's really a terrible crime. We should all always apologize for not helping the people of Biafra in this terrible siege and in this famine, which was done by the central government against you. And alone for that, I think you have deserved independence and freedom.
Thank you so very much. That's why I appreciate. I can never believe, because our people have lived in pain and agony and tried to survive. Till we were only surviving was just to leave our homes and to try to seek a better place elsewhere. Some people live by force because the Nigerian authorities are after. Some families have been killed and they just flee, while some flee economically, some just cannot take it anymore and they try to move away. Some don't even have to do any paperwork, because before you can do that, you will be dead. So you either flee through Libya, or anyhow you can just escape the bondage. But still, it's been very difficult for Biafran people, and that was what led to the creation of the Biafran Republic government. Although today is split into almost 3 parts, because Simon Finland decided to come for Simon after whatever agreement they reached with Nigeria. When they are saying that they are killing Christians, but what is Christians they are killing? They are Biafrans. Biafrans in the north and the west and the part of Nigeria are facing slaughtering on almost on daily basis. You understand? So I understood that a lot of representatives from the Biafran Republic government in Nigeria will be reaching you because of what you're doing. Yeah, please do not reject them. Try to understand it, but you must know that Biafran Republic government in Nigeria has been split. The parts, which is the structure that Simon and the rest of the members of the cabinet list, is being led by the Biafran Government Council. Of course, the ex who was sacked by the CRC is here handling this platform of information, media, and communication. Is the ex communication of the Biafran Republic government in exile. If there is any other information you know or you need, you want to understand more Biafran Republic government in exile, it's also a very complex structure that is still under development. So you can also reach out to the professors, doctors, and ordinary people in the government. Our mission is to ensure that we secure freedom for our people. We want to build our land to east. We want to partner with the rest of the world. We want peace, okay? And the world, and we like the world power to give us this opportunity as people, as Biafran people, to be able to explore or to be able to develop our people and our life. Nigeria is not building. He doesn't want to allow the people to build. He is exiling our young generation and killing our young generation. In the 20th century, when the genocide against Biafra happened, the attack was targeted on young people, and this was how they left the combat the front line, and they were going after refugee hospitals, they were going to farms, they were going to food banks. It was that they have erased all the food, all the stocks, and destroyed all the hospitals that they now get the economic block. Nigeria do not have what it takes to declare food blockade, but because they had powerful allies that were going to annihilate million children. If somebody kills million of your children, that person doesn't want you alive at all. He wants you to be raised. And there is no medicine that is going to make such people in whatever system or creation that they develop. Because if that person was going to develop that for the success of everyone, it wouldn't go slaughtering fellow human beings and fellow Africans. So, and somebody who did that should not be part of the United Nations or anywhere in the where the world powers are seated, because it doesn't represent, except if what this word represents is something else that we are yet to understand. For the peace of this world and for the growth and development, to develop humanity and build humanity, to protect people, to do business with each other, they will go that extent. So this is all I have. I would love that you have full detail on how our government in exile and the homeland is being run. It will give you more insight on how to work with every Biafran. I'm not trying to con brothers who split and go to like respect the idea, but the Prime Minister has called many times that everybody should try to unite with each other and work, because what we are looking for is the same thing that everyone is looking for: freedom. I know it's very sweet. People are working very hard to see this future come. We must be able to have a compromise, to work with each other, to achieve this very glorious future that God has given us. Thank you so very much, Thanks
a lot of unity of the Biafra nation and also legitimacy of institutions. This is, of course, very important. And often you have it that various factions, various political factions, personal ambitions lead to division in the diaspora and in the exile community and to different institutions. That's happening for historic reasons, for personal financial reasons. That comes very often. For example, in Belarus, there's a former exile government of 1918, basically of the independent Belarus in Canada, and then also the new exile government of the 2020 elections, and they live, I think, in Brussels or in Lithuania. Sorry, Lithuania exactly where at the moment, but so you have it, and this is unfortunate. I call for unity. What is important is unity and also legitimacy. You must have due process also in the diaspora. You can, exile government can have elections, can have a representative body, basically a parliament, can have a president, can have a government, and can work in a legitimate way. That means you report to the public, you inform, you consult your institutions. Everybody understands that you are outside and that you have not the full power, but you can organize a more or less similar process like a government would work. And that's, of course, expensive. You need to have support, but it is very good for the legitimacy, and it shows that you are actually a government in exile, which is ready to take power in the country. Because Nigeria, like Russia, is always doing maximum to delegitimize the opposition and also especially the exile, and they're doing that very professionally. So we must work double intensive in order to create the international recognition in the network that you are a viable kind of alternative to the present government. And that's of course important, and I think you need to be accredited in the European Union, for the Council of Europe, and possible even towards the African Union, and then also in Washington DC, where everything is decided, and that's very important. And so I can just underline the point: representation in Washington, where most of the actual government of the world are based. And I know the East Turkestan, for example, very, very nice people, and they want to break away from Russia, from China, sorry, and they are really very good. They're organized there, for example. And so that's my recommendation, and that's actually the way to win. Thank you very much for the question. Further questions?
Good. Yes, the next one is Rachel Fury.
All right. Thank you very much, Mr. Nico and Mr. Gunther. Thank you very much for your hard work for the Biafran people. We appreciate all that you do for us. My name is Rachel Fury, and I am speaking from Biafra land, and we send our greetings from the holy land of Biafra. Indeed, the name Nigeria is not indigenous to the people. And before I proceed, I must say special greetings to our Honorable Minister of Information with the handle Information Minister. And Mr. Gunter, please, I will still plead. He's representing over 80 million. He's the voice of over 80 million people. So I need to give him a little more time to really speak on the space. We'll share that. And the Honorable Minister Snow is the heirs to the acting Prime Minister of the Biafra Republic government in exile. So we really appreciate it if you can give them more time to really say more or you and the world about the Biafra movement. Thank you very much. And talking about Nigeria, Nigeria is a foreign entity owned by a foreigner that was imposed on the indigenous people on their own land to take away the identity of these indigenous people. This foreign entity is also managed in most cases, strangers, you understand, owned by a foreigner as well. This is why you see whenever they want to select a killer whom they call leader, they go to the owner of this entity called Nigeria, who resides in number 10 Downing Street. That is Britain, you understand? So that they can give them consent of the next killer. You understand? So that indeed is to be disintegrated, because when you look at all this Islamic genocide against Christians, I think the best way to really put a permanent stop to this genocide is create a state, a Biafran state with Christian value, a place where Christians can call, a place where Christians can feel safe. So that is the best solution that can be, given to this Christian genocide, because for America to commit their military on ground, it's a good idea, but that will be very capital intensive. It will also draw concern from different countries, you understand? But if America and other European countries can just recognize Biafra, then you fight the terrorism from Biafra. Is going to go in putting a stop to all this terrorism. And speaking about the Biafra Republic government in exile was inaugurated some 2 years ago. That should be 2023, I suppose, yes, with the head office at Maryland, Baltimore, right? So it was this Biafra Republic government that organized a self-referendum that we all here in Biafra land, I was one of those that used to help people to vote as well, because a lot of our people understand, we know what we went. At the end of the day, we gathered over 50 million votes. So, and we went to
50 million votes.
Yes.
Yes, over 50 million votes, yes.
You are like a model movement of national determination. I want to congratulate you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. So, like I was saying, up to date, our head office still is where it is, so we are not divided. I don't really want. I believe, Magotan, before you made your research, you carry out your research, and you know the government that is representing the Biafran people from Washington D.C., from all the diplomatic engagement, everything, nothing is hidden. They are all in there. You understand? So I don't want you to have the impression that we are divided. We are actually one. Those are some of the people left. They left based on selfish reasons, and I don't really know, because all of these things, when are arrested, and the former chief of defense staff of Nigeria made a statement that to stop the Biafran attack the finance. From time to time, some of our people have been over to attack the finance from time to time, which I'm not going to go into. A lot of groups have come in the name of accountability, in finance, and here and there. While in our laws, it is stated that these areas are classified due to the fact that if they are made open, you are going to sabotage the movement, which they know very well. You understand that due to they have to play to the agenda or to what the chief of defense staff Musa told them, they started coming up with finance accountability, attacking finance. This is why a lot of them left. But what I'm trying to tell you is that the same government that organized that self-referendum where over 50 million people voted is the same government that is still working with Washington D.C. It is the same government that still has. So, Mr. Gota, it's like I'm having some another call, but like I said earlier, please kindly give our Honorable Minister of Information time to also speak, because he's going to educate you a lot about this whole thing. Thank you very much. I yield the mic here. My name is Ray.
Rachel Fury, I don't think you'll be doing that on the space, because if you go that you try to change this, that's not okay. Because if you go by that, many people here will want to come up to tell you who the person you are talking about is. So the people who you said they separate did not. The Biafran Republic government in exile is run by the Biafran Council.
Mr. Gotan,
So
I think
you have to for inside. It's a time. That's why you have to leave it.
We are not here to
Please,
argue.
stop the arguing. We have to continue. This is a topic for another space.
Thanks a lot, Nicole. Next question, please. We will
that will be attacking the government from his.
So sorry. The next one is the military department of the Biafra Republic.
Yeah, good evening, everyone. It's me, Mr. Gunther and Mr. Nicole. At the same vein, I salute my fellow comrades, Mr. Snow. Sorry for you hearing my voice in this way because it's so late in this evening. I'm greeting also University in Biafra, Region Furi, and Wada Stella, Simon Ekpa and Samepa, His Excellency Chizoba, everybody here present, Metusela. I can see some corrupt. Okay, you can understand how your name is written. I'm not seeing very well. USB, BOC, Oku delay. Everyone here present. It's my pleasure to greet everybody here present. I just wanted to let our people to understand one thing. I'm so happy that our brother especially our big brother, Black African uprising, otherwise known as African Renaissance, or what you call African Romanticism. It is a period where our people have got to know our destiny is to our hands. When we understand that, we take therefore upon our hand. I see all things going on as the beginning of African Renaissance, but at the same time, we have to give all kudos to the leaders we have of Biafra, because the theme of this evening expose is Biafra freedom ex-Nigeria. Very important. Biafra freedom ex-Nigeria. And in fact, I started in this big brother, just like we had Mazi Jira Solis elect. I'm also giving the title of Mazi to Gonte and Mazi, because these are the people that this freedom have touched, and they left their own ethnic. They are coming to synergize us. I'm also with European Commission. It is not easy to get people that feel Africa. It is not easy to see a white man. Let us put it in our African way of understanding. It is not easy for us to be in the midst of white people, and you see that white person seeing him or herself as an African.
Maybe I lost you now.
I think something with the microphone.
Maybe. But it was not a full question. I could understand the question. So maybe the next one.
The next one is corruption hater. We tried it at the beginning. Maybe it worked now.
Corrupter is somebody, he is very critical to me, but he is a figure out now. I don't know. He's defending unity of Nigeria. It would be interesting to hear him, but he is not able to unmute his microphone. Maybe later. Let's try. Maybe the Nigerian government has sent him and he is afraid to talk here. I don't know. Everything is possible.
The next one is Emmanuel.
Good evening, ladies.
Good evening, you're welcome.
And gentlemen. I am greeting everyone in the house. Good evening, Gonta and Nicole. It is a pleasure having people talking about the freedom of the Biafra. Before I go on this very program, I would say, permit me to speak in my dialect, to speak to my own people before I make a public hearing where you can be able to understand. Biko ndị be anyị, ihe anyị bịara ebe ikwu bụ freedom. Onye ọbụla mụ iwe na-ewe ya shield bịaghị ebe ịzọ gọọmenti elu gọọmenti ala. Onye ọbụla ha sị na ya enye Biafra. Onye ọbụla a chọrọ inye Biafra sịsọ ha nda Biafra over.
It's better to mute him because we know what he's saying. And so
No,
it's English.
Don't
no,
mute
it's
me.
English. It's English and English only. Somebody else? Next question.
Voice of Biafra. It's connecting. Second.
Very well. You're welcome.
And guys, please ask questions. And yeah.
To announce it's the next 20 minutes is then the closing at 20 to 12. I have to close because it's getting late. In Austria.
The next one is Shine.
Good evening, sir. Good evening, Mr.
You're welcome.
God. Good evening. Please, sir, I don't know whether my own is a question, but I want to ask you, I don't know whether you know actually what is happening in that so-called Nigeria, because I saw in social media and in your Twitter, you are talking about Christians, but we are about a system, and I want you to know, because what I saw that Nigerians government are doing now is that they are trying to deny it, and some they are trying to deceive people that they want to change, they want to mend everything. I am begging you to beg President Trump to come quick, to come and rescue and Biafra. And it's not only Nigeria, and it's not only Christian they are killing in Nigeria. Most of this killing that we are seeing is inside Biafra land. They will go and tell, they are now saying that there can be problem with, they give them sometimes, but they are preparing to deceive President Trump when he accepts what he's saying, then they will start killing Biafrans. It's not only Christian in the north, they're also killing Biafrans. All the fighter jets that they, American, to them to fight for Boko Haram, they are to killing Biafrans, bombarding Biafrans, destroying our house, killing our women, raping our women. But no, you cannot hit it anywhere in social media. It's not only Christians, they are killing Biafrans every day. Even this week at Enugu, they block one seat in Enugu. They said that none of them will enter their village. And it has men. You will see Nigerian people, they dismount, they say, they deny us not to protect ourselves, that everybody should come and give them our gun. Now you will see they'll be carrying their cow entering inside our school, inside our house. If you talk to them, you will see a small boy, 9 years, with AK-47 shooting people. If you talk, they will kill you. They kill people is like animal. Now, that's why our leaders in Nato created the ESN. The Nigerian government enter inside and deceive them, and the leader from Kenya. This is an abomination in this world that somebody travel from London to Kenya. Nigerian government collude and go and kidnap him in Kenya. Nobody is saying anything about it. He is still in DSL dungeon since 5 years. Now the courts, the Supreme Courts in Nigeria tell them that they should release this guy. that they don't supposed to kidnap him. They're supposed to do it through international law, but they kidnap him. Why are they keeping him now since 2001 without medical, without anything? They cannot even give him treatment because he's from Southeast. The one that is fighting for Yoruba, they him, and they leave him within 8 months. Why is Southeast own is different? They are killing us every day. If the whole world want to come and take our oil, let them come and take this oil and let Biafrans breathe. I don't know, because I'm not hearing it anywhere. President Trump is talking about killing Christians. No, they are killing us every day. Every day you must in Biafra land, more than 30 women. The worst part of it is the one I saw there, that a lady, she's pregnant, they cut off the head, open the stomach and bring out the child and cut the child into they are not seeing. If you put it in a
Okay, I think the connection.
and bring vegetable backyard. Fulani herdsmen saw this lady and cut this lady into pieces like chicken. Nobody is saying it. And number one is that when I was small, they said that when they do the amalgamation, when
Okay, I think the connection is lost.
Yeah, it's a big tragedy what is happening in terms of this in Nigeria. I really feel vindicated to call for ex-Nigeria, and I sympathy and empathy with victims of the genocide against Nigeria. Thanks a lot. Next.
The next one is fine.
All right, thank you very much for this opportunity. My question is going to be very blunt and straightforward. The Nigerian government have been able to infiltrate the movement in 2 ways. One, by giving some individuals money to donate their ways through the leadership by the main on ground. So my question is going to be, how are you going to be financed if you want to identify with any institution at all that is championing the Biafra movement? As any institution, just fine or you deem fit on the Biafra restoration. How are you going to depend on the finance? Is it based on nation, or you also going to find, so you also going to lock those who will finance and later on the Biafrans will pay back the money? I still have more questions. Please help us with it.
If you want to support me personally, subscribe at my Twitter button, and I appreciate very much. Otherwise, I'm independent from all other resources, and I'm supporting many movements for freedom, and in generally support all the movements for freedom. I'm also an economist, so working on that one as a development consultant. If you ask me, this is my answer. Next question.
Yes, I think we have had enough. Listened enough. Important. Make your decisions into. We expected a lot of one Nigerians to come and, defend their country. We expected a lot of Nigerians to come and defend their country. But unfortunately, they did not show up. Unfortunately, none of them showed up. That is to tell you how evil the Nigerian state has become. So I'm going to put the link. If you want to join us on the studio, you join and make your contribution. You join and make your contribution. Always make sure that your voice is heard. Always make sure that your voice is heard at this critical time. Mr. Gunter is an actor from Austria. Mr. Gunter is someone who is passionate about freedom of nations, about freedom of people. So Mr. Gunter is now serving as the voice of the. Mr. Gunter is the chairman of Austrian Committee for NATO enlargement for Austria, Ukraine, Kosovo, Bosnia, United Nations, European Union, I mean to say. So his voice is very loud. His voice is very welcome in advocating for Nigeria's disintegration and Biafra exit out of that Nigeria. Because is that Nigerian government have committed. I'm still at work. So because of the atrocity that the Nigerian government commit against the indigenous people like Mr. Gonto are now speaking out. And there is nothing new that he's saying that our leader Mazi Nnamdi Kanu have not been saying all this while. There is nothing new on what our Prime Minister has been saying. There is absolutely nothing new of what our APM or BRGIE government have been saying all this while. But it's very, very okay. We really appreciate that he is speaking out so that those of you who don't believe in Biafra, we understand that Biafra is here with us, okay? Those of you who are waiting for Mazi Simon Ekpanjoku to come out or Mazi Nnamdi Kanu to come out before they can support their freedom, I want to ask you whether Mr. Gunter waited for any Mazi Nnamdi Kanu or Simon Ekpa to come out before he started speaking. No. So your freedom does not depend on Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. I'm still at work, so your freedom does not depend on Mazi Simon Ekpanjoku. Our freedom does not depend on anybody. Our freedom is in our hands. It is our responsibility to say we want to be free out of Nigeria. Yes, it is our responsibility to free ourselves out of Nigeria. So we are calling on everybody Everybody is expected to come on board and make it a reality. Everybody is expected to come on board and make it a reality. Join us on the studio and let us, let us discuss. Let us rub minds together on the space that we had today. Some Efulefus, some Sabos came on this and was talking about CRC. University is not ashamed of himself. You look at a whole activist, somebody who have read wide, somebody who knows what freedom is all about. You are coming to educate him. Oh, this one is in charge. This one is not in charge. Foolishness. You thought that, oh, Mr. Gunter just came in and started having discussion or started having a broadcast with BRGIE for nothing. That is to show the desperation of most of you. I think after yesterday's space, he will go and hide his face in shame, because it is really, really pathetic that you came online instead of you to ask questions talking about CRC. Who knows CRC? CRC or BSc or advisory, who know them? Even Ngozi self, Ngozi is even more known than them. The psychiatric woman, now even they know past CRC. So, but in this case, nobody knows Ngozi. Nobody knows him. No, you come here to disgrace yourself. University came there to disgrace himself. So, forget about university. University was making jest of himself. He thought that Mr. Gun don't know that Biafran Republic government in exile is in charge of Biafra liberation, or you think that he doesn't know that Mazin Nandekano is in detention, or he doesn't know that Simon Ekpa is in detention, or that he doesn't know that BRGIE have a lobbyist in Elias. You think he doesn't know? The person you are trying to push him to say BSc, CRC, where are your lobbyists? Who is your prime minister? Who is your this? Who is your that? That is to show your stupidity, to show your foolishness, and to show his ignorance. He should be ashamed of himself for coming online and to fool himself. And of course, I don't think he will be foolish enough to come online again and talk about it. Who is CRC? How can you be defending people that are not visible, people that you can't see? You can't see what they are doing. They're actually doing absolutely nothing. You're coming to fool yourself. Useless people everywhere. Join us on the studio. Make your contribution. Make your contribution. As you know, join us. This is Mr. Gunter. This is Mr. Gunter with Hungarian State Secretary Tristan Ashbej. They call for Nigeria to stop persecuting Christians. They call for Nigeria to end the genocide against the Christian population. He said, this is a tweet by our our lobbyist, Elias, 4 hours ago, senior Austrian political personality Gunther Fellinger and Tristan Ashbesh, Hungarian politician and official, call for the end of the persecution of Christian Biafrans. This is a historic groundswell of international support for Biafran cause. Yes, of course. There is being heard internationally, and everybody should come and support this call for Biafra exit out of the zoo. So what are you taking? What do you think? What are you doing as Biafran? Are you supporting the government, or are you fighting against the government? Are you the likes of Bright or Sai? Are you the likes of Madam Vam Vam Vam? Are you the likes of Emerson and all the rest of them? These are the people who we are fighting against BRGIE. The same set of individuals who supported Ngozi secretly, they now came openly to support Ima. They came to support Ima to destabilize what we are doing, but they don't know that we have already gone far, far ahead of them. And we are not retreating, not surrendering. Their sabotage is going nowhere. We continue to make headlines. Our government continue to do the needful. Our APM continue to make the case for Biafra known in Washington, D.C. So anybody that is standing against Biafra is doing so at his or her own peril. Yes. Anybody doing that is doing that at his or her own detriment. At his or her own detriment. Join us on the studio and make your contributions. Biafra must be free out of Nigeria. There is absolutely nothing anybody can do about it. Nothing any bagger can do. Biafra freedom is imminent. And we must be free. We must be free. We must be free.
Especially every Biafran who is supporting from day one. Continue to flourish.
Join us on the studio, make your contribution.
The Prime Minister, Obatobi, Okechukwu, Mukeleki, Mukoma,
Join us on the studio and make your contribution.
Okechukwu One plus one is two, two plus two is four.
Join us and make your contribution. Join us in the studio. Let us rub minds together. Why must be free?
Don't give up when it's so close, so close. Forget you book a man. Never you give up, no, no, no. Forget you book a man. Your dreams, brother. Forget you book a man. Never you say no, 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 no. Forget you book a man. Forget you kind of young. Forget you book a man. Never you down your bed, no, no. Forget you book a man. Keep your head up, keep finding more. Forget you book a man. Oh yeah, forget you book a man. A big shout out to Mazio Getchukere. I salute my PM, Mazi Simoni Bad. Life is sweet when you patient. The greatest shout out goes to the media team.
Thank you for joining us.
They wanna.
I see you all. I appreciate your presence. If you have anything to contribute, join us and make your contribution. I think today our APM will be having.
Life is a process.
Okay, let me see if I can
No
bring it
matter
to
how
the
you
screen.
go about it. Mazi Ogechukunkere, Omale Chawoke, the Biafran Republic Government Exam Finance Minister, is humbly campaigning for Biafran financial support for the purpose of Finland Convention, Biafran Defense Forces, and redeclaration-related activities. I appreciate all the Biafrans who are supporting our liberation movement. I also urge you to massively support modern effort, especially in these critical times. Oh, my fellow lovely great Biafrans, let's come together for our Prime Minister, Master Simon, who is currently working tirelessly to hand over our freedoms this year, 2022.
Our AP having a podcast on the 13th, which is 13th by PM. So this podcast, make sure you are part of it. Make sure you join. Important.
Forget you Bukama. Forget you Bukama. Forget you Kunkere Kerunu. Forget you Bukama. Oh no, forget you Bukama. Forget you Bukama. Yona Yasi. Forget you Bukama. There is magic to progress and success in life. Life gives back what you give to it. It takes a man who believes in himself to create wealth. So keep working hard and never lose hope in what you believe in. I got time. Life is not easy. Sigh. Make it take and jejo. I want to use this special opportunity to recognize great Odebujuku.
Today as well, our APM will be having question and answer section. Make sure you are part of it. Make sure you join the space by 4 p.m. Biafran time.
A special recognition to every dear friend who have been supporting from day one. May Elohim continue to flourish in your different endeavors. Minister, Oba Tobier, Ogechukwu Teresimikio, Wokoma, Ogechukwu Kaina Yono, Ogechukwu Kama, Onyamana Gidi Bakuno, Ogechukwu, Welun Chukwu, Kasebele, Ogekama, Ogechukwu Kama, Mama Biko Yobo Lisa, Ogechukwu Kama, Ogechukwu Kaina Yono, Ogechukwu Kama, Ogechukwu Kaina Yona Nyasi, Ogukama. Ayole, Ayiga Kolole Garole Lu.
Biafra must be free. Must be free as a people.
1 + 1 is 2. 2 + 2 is 4.
And it is our time to be free out of Nigeria. So support our freedom. Support your own freedom.
Don't give up when it's so close. Ogechukwu Kama, never you give up, no. Ogechukwu Kama, believe in your dreams, brother. Ogechukwu, never you say no. Ogechukwu Kama, Ogechukwu Kaina Yon, Ogechukwu Kama, never you down your fail, no. Ogechukwu Kama, keep your head up, keep on fighting, Ogechukwu Kama. A big shout out to Mazio Gechukuke. I salute you, APM, Mazi Simoni Bar. Life is sweet, where greatest shows to the media team, great talents. They won.
Join us, make your contribution.
I did not jump in. I did not jump in. Yes, I did not jump in. They came to my house just to kill me, And they did not jump in. Your own Nigerian army to see me there.
Join us on the studio.
Your own cause said a defendant did not jump in. Defendant did not jump in. I need my witnesses in court to testify. You know. Oh, your own cause ruling my Lord. Not jump in. Igbo man does not run. Igbo man not jump your bail. Your own God man said that he did not jump bail. My Lord. dead already. The only thing that can bring me back is Biafra. This life is meaningless without freedom, real freedom. African freedom, Biafra. Oh, rise up like the rising sun, Nigeria, Nigeria, divide peacefully. Referendum, let them go. Referendum. Now is African man freedom. Oh, Nigeria, your own call ruling, my lord, my lord. Your own call, my lord, a jumble. Igbo man does not run. Real man, no jumble. Why thou prosecute me, my lord? Why persecute an innocent man, my lord? There is God, oh yes. There is a God. World is watching. I did not jump in. Yes, I did not jump in. Jump in. They came to my house to kill me, kill like Lagos. Let it all get style, let it all get style. Nigerian army came to kill me.
So join us and make your contribution. We have to understand that we have suffered much under Nigeria.
I did not jump.
We have suffered much under that contraption. We need to be free as a people. So we call upon Biafrans worldwide, wherever you are domiciled all around the world. The time to come on board is now. Because what you see happening is not ordinary. Okike, the hand of God is in work. So each and every one of us to come and join hands with the government, join hands and make sure that we are free as a people. We need your support financially. We need your support morally, okay? We need your support, morally support, financial support. The IOU loan is still very much available. Loan government your money and get 100% interest rate. You can as well make your donations, pay your Biafran liberation task, either on a monthly, weekly, on a daily basis. This is for the freedom of the Biafran people. Our children need to be free. We don't need to pass the suffering that we are suffering to our children or to our generation. We need to be free out of the bondage we find ourselves in Nigeria. So that is what we need at this time. Biafra exit is very much imminent. People are speaking. The world are rising up to speak for us. We must also rise up to speak for ourselves. Yes, we must rise to defend our women and our children. We must rise to defend our territories. Don't allow the enemies to overwhelm you. Don't allow the enemy to dictate. Nigeria has been a dictatorial government since time immemorial. Our people have lost confidence in Nigeria. Besides, Nigeria expired in 2014, which made it 100 years after the amalgamation. As it was stated in the amalgamation document. So we, the Biafran people, are now calling for division of that entity so that people can have a sense of belonging. People can be proud of their nation. People can be proud to call Biafra their nation. People can be proud to enjoy the amenities that the government will provide, the healthcare systems, as the case may be. So, if you are not part of what we are doing, it means you are against what we are doing. Don't come out and start fighting against the government that wants you to be free. It will be very, very idiotic and useless of you to come out and start attacking the government that is known in Washington, D.C. as a government that is really fighting for your freedom. Just like one of them did yesterday, started castigating, trying to cast aspersions, not knowing that who he's talking to already have information about the government, and he knows that the government is on the right path. So support our film, and anything that you can do to destroy Nigeria, don't wait a second to do that, because Nigeria must be destroyed for lives to be saved. You can see the genocide that is happening, the Christian persecutions, the Islamization agenda, which is being planned and implemented by the government of the day, by the Nigerian government itself. You can see how they are rapport with terrorists, reintegrating them, putting them into the society to go and kill indigenous people. These are evidences that are glaring before everybody's eyes. Based on that, the American government designated Nigeria a country of CPC, a country of particular concern. And Nigeria is also known as the worst country in the world where Christians can live. You can imagine. Where Christians can live, the worst that is known for persecution of Christians is Nigeria. And Nigeria was supposed to be a secular state. So, are you still comfortable in a state under Nigeria? The answer is no. So, if you are a Biafran, support your Biafran freedom. If you are a Yoruba or Oduduwa, support your Oduduwa freedom. If you are Arewasa people, go your separate ways so that the killings will stop. Because once you disintegrate Nigeria, you are going to disintegrate the interests of those who are coming to kill you. Thank you so much. Join us and make your contribution. Join and make your contribution.
Nigeria, obey your order. I did not bend. There you go, extra rendition. Extra rendition. I did not jump your bed. I did not jump your bed. I did not jump it. I did not jump it. They came to my house to kill me, to kill like Lego. It started. It all gets started. Like it's all right. Just to see me there. I stand for to defend myself. I did it all. God and this
Join us, and make a contribution.
I did not bail. I did not jump bail. Yes, I did not jump bail. They came to my house just to kill me. Kill me. El Igbo man did not bail. You're an army just to see me. Said a defendant did not jump bail. Defendant did not jump bail. I need my witnesses in court to testify in Abuja. Oh, your own God ruling my Lord did not jump bail. Igbo man does not run. Igbo man not jump your bail. Your own God said that he did not jump bail. My Lord, my Lord, my Lord. I don't know why my case should be contrary to the Constitution of Nigeria, Constitution of the United Nations. Your own God, my Lord, I am dead already. The only time bring me back is Biafra. Life is meaningless without freedom, real freedom. Biafra, African freedom, Igbo nation. Biafra. Oh, rise up like the rising sun, Nigeria, Nigeria, divide peacefully. Referendum. Now is our freedom.
Thank you, Biafrans. Pass of freedom. Appreciate you who joined us this morning. Want to really appreciate our Prime Minister. I appreciate our leaders, Mazin Mandikan, Philip Effiong, External Leader Bojoku. We also appreciate Wazirike. We come down to our leader of Madike 1 of Biafra land, Simon Ekwanjoku. And this time we are so grateful to our acting Prime Minister, Ogechukwu Nkere, for setting the pace. And we also appreciate our Information Minister, Mazi Sani Akbarawa. So this flyer you are seeing on the screen is scheduled on the 13th. On the 13th, the broadcast, 4 p.m. Mr. Gunter Felinga Jan is the chairman Austrian Committee for NATO enlargement for Austria, Ukraine, Kosovo, Ukraine, and all the rest of it. So they are going to be live on the 13th. Make sure you are part of it. Continue to support Mr. Gunter, because he is the voice that is speaking from the European Union, from NATO. Very, very important. We will continue to make sure that our awareness continues until we are free as a people. So I really appreciate every one of you who were a part of this broadcast this morning. Please, if you have not subscribed to my channel, I beg of you, go now and hit the subscription button so that we are going to get notification anytime we are live. Thank you so much. Continue to do the needful. Support our freedom. Support your freedom. Support the freedom of your generation and that of your children, and even generation yet unborn. Thank you so much, and I say airborne to the Biafran Defense Forces. There one.
Extra